All right, Milwaukee improved to 15-1, and Giannis's knees feel good after a loss this season, on pace to be the best record by any team in the last 25 seasons. The other teams in the top three, the 2012-13 Heat and the 91-92 Bulls, both finished the season with an NBA championship. Maybe some foreshadowing there, Greeny, for your team. And now we welcome in Zach Lowe.
The one, the only. Zach Lowe has made his way to our studio, the host of the outstanding podcast, The Lowe Post. Go download it now. Okay, here's where we want to start with you. They really feel like there are four teams, with no disrespect to Indiana having lost their best player, but really feel like four big teams in the Eastern Conference. And I know that you have a little feeling on what has to go right for each of them if they are going to wind up winning it all. So let's start with my Milwaukee Bucks. Your thoughts?
When did the Sixers no longer become your Sixers? I feel
about
like they're
3 weeks ago.
Okay.
3 weeks ago, we changed.
We had a little bit of a disagreement. What do you think?
The Bucks are the best team in the East. They're the favorites. They've earned the status. I think they have so many guys now that I think it's almost their biggest challenge in the playoffs is like, don't get too cute with rotations. Like sometimes Giannis might have to play 45 minutes. Sometimes it's going to be a bad matchup for Brook Lopez when they play, when a team goes small. Like you got to make hard decisions. You got to make them fast, and some people might have their feelings hurt.
Sometimes those teams that play that many guys, you get them into a 7-game series, it kind of changes the dynamic. How about the Boston Celtics center at all of that drama lately?
Well, number one, stop hating each other all the time. That would help. Number two, to me, everyone focuses on Hayward, and yeah, when Hayward plays well, they're obviously a much better team. To me, the bellwether is Horford. And Horford is sort of their trump card against all of these traditional big guys. Embiid, Lopez, Marc Gasol. They have trouble guarding him, and he guards Giannis. He guards Pascal Siakam. And they need peak Al Horford. The Al Horford that played in Milwaukee right after the All-Star break where they almost won that game. They need that guy every single game. And lucky for them, if you look at his numbers, he's been much worse on back-to-backs, and there are no back-to-backs in the playoffs.
How about the Raptors?
Raptors sort of remind me of the Bucks in that they just have so many guys. But number one, their bench has been bad. They need Van Vliet back because the Norm Powell, Pat McCaw, Jeremy Lin group has not been carrying their weight. And then the center position, Ibaka, Gasol, and I do think they're going to have to unleash Siakam as a small ball center at times in the playoffs. And again, those are three guys who consider themselves big minute starters. And like, you're just going to have to make hard choices. And you can't make those choices like 90 seconds late in a playoff game. You got to make them 90 seconds early.
And then finally, the bandwagon I jumped off, but I'm more than willing to jump back on again, depending on the circumstances. Philadelphia.
You cannot jump off.
I don't think. I just
what
told
he wants.
this isn't okay. You predicted Embiid MVP.
Tell me what they got to do.
It's over.
Well, get the big guy healthy, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, their bench stinks. Although Mike Scott's been given. I like this Mike Scott as backup center thing that they have going on. That's interesting. But they need something from their bench, or they need to just stagger their starters to the point that their bench players almost don't matter. But they just need to build chemistry among their big five.
It's just fascinating. When LeBron left, we thought the East Conference has become sort of the junior varsity. Instead, it's become fascinating to watch at the top. Absolutely. If you had to bet an amount of money on one of those four teams to come out of the East, who you got?
I'm sticking with the Raptors. And I do love the fact that Kawhi Leonard has been there, done that. He's a finals MVP. I think that takes some of the pressure off of Kyle Lowry to become maybe the Kyle Lowry we see normally versus the one we've seen in the postseason the last couple of years.